Hi, and hope you're really well, hope you're having a good week. I just wanted to come and quickly just encourage you and just share something that will hopefully give you something to think about and pray about this week. So I've been reading Luke, and in chapter 22, verses 31 to 34, we've got this little conversation that's recorded between Jesus and Peter. Now, we know that Peter was one of Jesus' disciples. He was probably one of his closest friends. They'd been kind of doing this stuff together almost since the beginning of Jesus' public ministry. And he was kind of one of the ones that Jesus, chose to come with him, even when he kind of drew away or he went somewhere with only a couple of his closest friends. Peter was sort of part of that inner circle. They were really close. But in this bit in the Bible, those verses 31 to 34 of Luke 22, there's that little conversation between Jesus and Peter, and in this, Jesus predicts that Peter is going to betray him. He's going to, say that he never even knew Jesus and just totally deny any affiliation with Jesus. And at this point, obviously, it's not happened yet, so Peter is denying that will ever happen and, can't even believe that could ever be a thing. But what really strikes a chord with me is that even before this has happened, even before Peter's even made that mistake, Jesus is saying to Peter, look, I've prayed for you that your faith may not fail. And then when you do come back, after you've made that mistake, do come back. And then please go and strengthen others. Please go and encourage others. It just really highlighted something of the nature of Jesus and how he approaches us and what he has called us to do, and how little it has to do with how good we are or are not, and how much it has to do with who he is and what he has done. So in that bit, obviously Jesus is saying to Peter, when you come back, go and strengthen others. And I think so often we assume that, if we have kind of wandered away from Jesus, or if we have made mistakes, that then we need to first go through some 12-step program to get our own stuff together, or we need to prove to ourselves and to everybody else that we really are, we've really kind of made it now and we're committed, before we can encourage others. But Jesus takes that approach that as soon as Peter realizes that he's made a mistake, he's welcome to come back and immediately to go and strengthen others, to go and encourage, to go and share with others of that grace and that mercy that Jesus has given him. And he's telling this to Peter before it even happens, so that he knows that as and when he messes up and makes a mistake, that it's not permanent, it's not exclusion. It doesn't mean that he now isn't able to do the things God has called him to do. Instead, he's welcomed and encouraged to go and immediately help other people. So I just wanted to encourage you with this, that, if you ever feel like, you've messed up, or you've wandered away, or, you didn't get something right, don't let that stop you from, being used by God to still be an encouragement to others, to strengthen others, to keep using what God has given you to others. Jesus does not write you off just because you've had a bad day or a bad week or a bad month or whatever that looks like. You are welcomed back into his presence, and you are welcomed to share what you have and what God has given you to encourage others. So this week, spend some time in God's presence, pray and ask him to show you who you could encourage this week, who there is in your life that you might be able to just speak some words of encouragement or affirmation to, or who you could support or help in some kind of way. In those moments, just remember that it's not so much about how good or bad you are. It's really about how good Jesus is, and he really is good enough to use you and me and anybody else that wants to be used by him in that way. Okay, well, I hope you have a really good week, and as and when you have these opportunities, please do share that with the rest of us, so we can all be encouraged by the things that God is doing in and through you. Okay, well, I'll see you soon.